My good people, my good people. Oh yeah, I called it this time. I wasn't gonna be mute for the first couple of seconds. I called it this time. What's going on, my good people? Hello, world. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the show that's hot with your boy Rob Scott. This is Rob's Two Cents, baby. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? Hope y'all good. Hope you had a great productive week. Hope you had a great weekend. I know I seen you guys a little sooner last week than expected because we had big news regarding Dame Lillard going to the Bucks. Oh my God, what an announcement that was. We gonna talk about some more trades that have happened since then and how that has changed the landscape in the realm of sports, particularly in the realm of the NBA. You got a disappointing loss with this team that I got on my head. I got a couple words for y'all. Oh, we gonna talk about it. Had a big super fight over the weekend between Canelo and Charlo, and it wasn't pretty for Charlo. That's all I can say. But we gonna get into all that. We gonna get into all that. As I always tell you guys, kick your feet up, sit back, relax, and tune in to the hottest sports conversation in the nation, baby. This is Rob's 2-6. And we got to start off by talking about this team that I got on my hat right now. Talk about the team that represents the city of Chicago in the National Football League, the Chicago Care Bears. I got one question for the Bears. Can it get any worse? Can it get any worse for the Chicago Bears? As you guys know, the Bears played the Denver Broncos on a great Sunday afternoon. It was a beautiful day that day. I was supposed to be on the Rewind Sports 60 TSR games Bears post game live show. Had some technical difficulties, but I will be joining them this Thursday for a pregame show. So you guys make sure you tune in to the Rewind Sports 60 YouTube page. Catch a boy over there. I'm making moves. I'm taking over Chicago, baby. One platform at a time. But I tell you, the Bears ain't taking over Chicago. Oh no, the Bears ain't taking over nothing. I mean, I only think the Bears can take care of themselves because right now the Bears is a complete clown show. They lost to the Denver Broncos 31-28. And I know you like Rob. We understand that the Bears they tend to lose, but it's the way they lost. Let's start off the first half, and particularly the second quarter. The Bears were on the roll, y'all. The Bears were on the roll. I believe they scored 21 points in the second quarter. I can let you guys know right now. The Bears were on the roll. Justin Fields played one of the best games in his young career. Matter of fact, not one of the best games. It was the best game in his career. I mean, the Bears were on the roll. They were rocking and rolling against the Denver Broncos. Justin Fields, I believe, had 16 completions at the end of the first half, 16 consecutive completions, which was the most in team history. That's how much of a roll he was on. He had already thrown for 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. Two to Cole Kmet, one to DJ Moore, a beautiful one in the corner. I didn't think they were going to count that touchdown for DJ Moore. I really didn't. I didn't think he got that right foot down. But the Bears were playing beautifully. I'm sitting here cheering. I'm telling my wife, I'm like, oh my God, man, we finna win. Look at Justin Fields. This is the Justin Fields we thought we were gonna see. And lo and behold, Chicago Bears do Chicago Bear things. Let me tell you something right now. Let's just talk about the tail of the tape. Let's talk about the stats. Justin Field on the day had a great game. He was 28 to 35, 4 touchdowns, only one INT. DJ Moore had 8 receptions for 131 yards, 1 touchdown. Cole Kmet, 2 touchdowns. Khalil Herbert for 18 carries, 103 yards, 1 reception touchdown. I mean, I thought the Bears were on the roll. I was literally, I'm getting ready to come get them all their props. I'm getting ready to be one of them Chicago fans to say, playoffs, we on the way, baby. We on the way. But what did the Bears do? What do the Bears do after having such a dominating game? I mean, let's talk about it. As I mentioned with the Chicago Bears, they scored 21 second quarter points. They only allowed they at that point Denver was down 21-7. And then we looked up, Denver was down 28-7. And then what did the Bears do in the fourth quarter? They give up 17 straight fourth quarter points to the Denver Broncos, to the same team that just lost by 70 points to Miami Dolphins the week prior. You give up 17 Straight fourth quarter points. You got to be kidding me. Let me talk to you, Bears. Shame on you. First of all, let me get this crap off my head because I'm looking forward to basketball season now. I don't even want to talk about football season no more because the Chicago Bears ain't doing nothing. I might as well wait for my boy Steph, see what Chris Paul gonna do with the Warriors because damn sure it ain't worth watching Bears football. Shame on you, Chicago Bears. First of all, I want to say shame on the coaching organization. Matt Eberflus, Coach Eberflus. You're supposed to be a defensive coordinator. You're a defensive coordinator in Indianapolis coach. Now you're a head coach. You don't have your defensive coordinator, Alan Williams, anymore. You're supposed to be the one calling the defensive plays. You were a defensive coordinator. How come your dean don't know how to play defense? Let's talk about the offensive line because Justin Fields, even though he had a great day, it wasn't a great day in the fourth quarter. Not when you're throwing an interception in the fourth quarter in clutch time. Not when you're giving up. Not only do you lose the ball in a fumble to an old teammate of yours in college, but you also he scored the 4 touchdowns. I think you gotta be kidding me. Only Hollywood can make this shit up. You gotta be kidding me. 17 straight fourth quarter points. Coaching staff suck. Quarterback was okay until the fourth quarter. Offensive line, you couldn't block nothing if your name was star 67. Throw the whole Bears organization away. Losing to Denver, making Russell Wilson look good while he went 21 to 28 for 223 yards and 3 touchdowns, and nothing taking pictures with Sierra at the end of the game. Shame on you, Bears. Shame on you for getting our hopes up in Chicago and thinking that y'all gonna be about something. And this is the product that y'all put out there to America. This is the product that you give us hardworking Chicago fans who will support you in the damn cold. Will be out there in Soldier Field when it's negative 13 degrees with a hoodie on screaming, let's go, Bears, bear down. Oh, it's bear down, all right. It's bear all the way down. Because y'all so low, it only can go up from here. It can't get any worse than what it's been. Also, we got to look at what's been going on with Chase Claypool, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Mickey, what's up? What's up, man? How you feeling, brother? I appreciate you for tuning in. I appreciate you for tuning in. Hey, I don't want to talk about the Giants right now. I want to talk about this show, the Chicago Bears, and the product that they've been putting out for the city of Chicago. It's horrible. If I wasn't from Chicago, the Bears wouldn't even be able to grace my show presence. They wouldn't get talked about on Rob's 2 Cents. You lucky I live in Chicago. Man, we got to talk about it's been more of a clown show on and off the field. Chase Claypool wasn't active for this game due to the fact that he made some comments about the coaching staff and where he think he should fit. I have to agree with what he said. I don't think he was completely wrong, but I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Take a look.
I feel like you've been put in the best position for you as a receiver to showcase the best of what you can do.
No.
Would you say it's not ideal?
No, I wouldn't say that. Like, I think every situation has the ability to be ideal. I think we're just working towards that. And, I'm not going to say that. I wouldn't say it's a not ideal place for me. Like, obviously there's other places, like, you can say, I want to be on the best offense with the highest passing yards. But, that doesn't happen in football. You just have to make do with what you got.
He then went on to say that he doesn't believe that the coaching staff is putting him in the best positions to score. And then he went on to say it's not his job to tell him. Now, I get what he's saying, and I completely agree with him. I don't think the Bears have been utilizing none of their playmakers. I mean, this was the best game we've seen from DJ Moore since we got him. I understand that we're 4 games in, but we got to remember, football is only a 17-game season. So you have to learn and you have to adapt very quickly in the game of football. And we finally used DJ Moore. I never understood that about the Bears, that you go get a playmaker and you don't allow him to make plays. You guys are throwing these dumb screen passes. You got Justin Fields turning his back to the damn line, and he know damn well his offensive line can't block anything. You want to keep your eyes forward. You want to make sure you can see the defenders coming because you don't have the luxury to turn your back. Not with that offensive line. I'm just sick of the Bears as a whole. And at this point, I just hope you win at least one game. Just win one game. Because God knows we haven't tasted victory since October of last year in 2022. That's a damn shame, Bez. Shame on you, and shame on me for continuing to cheer for you. I'm on to the next subject. Let's talk about the big news in the NBA. In case you live under a rock, we all know that Dame Lillard went to the Milwaukee Bucks. And in that trade, it was a three team trade between Milwaukee, between Phoenix, and between Portland. DeAndre Ayton, he goes to Portland, which I'll touch on in a second. And Jrue Holiday, he went on to Portland as well. And the Bucks got Miami, got Damian Lillard, and then the Bucks also, and then Phoenix received like Grayson Allen and some other tag along people. We'll get into Phoenix later. I'm not too much worried about Phoenix, but if you guys haven't seen now, Jrue Holiday is now a Boston Celtic, and there's a new big three in the Beastern Conference, and now we have to discuss how big is this trade? Because now remember, Boston let go of Marcus Smart, who was their defensive player of the year, who was the heart and soul of their team, who orchestrated the defense out there on the perimeter. Hard nosed guy, always was gonna clock in and show up to work on time. You let that guy go in hopes of getting a unicorn in Kristaps Porzingis. And we all know Kristaps has his injury problems, but with him and Robert Williams and Al Horford, we figured that they'll form a formidable line. And we were wondering now, what happens with Boston? Is Kristaps the new big three with the Celtics? And no, the Celtics say they weren't done yet. The Celtics say we're gonna go get us a point guard. We're gonna get us another defensive guy, a great two-way player, somebody who's actually, if you compare Jrue Holiday and Marcus Smart, Jrue Holiday is just way better offensively than Marcus Smart. So now you bring in an asset to add to Jason Tatum, to add to Jaylen Brown. And oh my God, the Celtics say we are right back in that conversation to make it back to the dance, and this time win it all. Let me tell you, that was a great pickup for this for the Boston Celtics. We look at the trade here. The Celtics received Jrue Holiday. The Blazers received Malcolm Brogdon, the big man Robert Williams, also known as Star Lord, a 2024 first round pick via the Golden State Warriors, and a 2029 unprotected first round pick via the Celtics. So now you look at this Blazers team as well. This is a good young core. I was talking about it with my boy Mike Hughes after we did our surprise show about the huge Damian Lillard news, and he brought up a good point. I'm mad we didn't get a chance to talk about the Boston Celtics. I mean the Portland Trail Blazers, but they have a nice young core. Remember, they still got Anthony Simons. You still got Jeremy Grant over there. You draft Scoot Henderson. Now you bring in a Malcolm Brogdon. You get DeAndre Ayton via trade. Now you bring in Robert Williams because now Nurkic is now over there with the Phoenix Suns. So now you replace Nurkic with two good big men. I know they both tend to have injury problems, and people question the heart and tenacity of DeAndre Ayton, but I believe Robert Williams will help that problem out. And I say right now, man, it's just all type of magic happening. But one team that does feel bad is the Miami Heat, because now we see Jimmy Butler dressing like this. I mean, I see Jimmy Butler, and the first thing I think in my head is, this is my last resort. Trepidation, intimidation. Hey, Jimmy is a fool, man. This is the guy that people was calling Michael Jordan. Mike ain't doing that. I'm sorry now. Mike ain't doing that. But Jimmy, he makes the joke. I don't know if he was joking, but he comes out with a tweet talking about he think Milwaukee was tampering. He comes out, looking like the lost emo kid for media day in the NBA. I don't know what's going on with Jimmy Butler. In case you missed it. Yeah, I mean, do you see the hair flick? It's spectacular. The hair is on fleek, and look at the eyebrow pierce. I mean, the guy can't. I mean, he had the painted nails in there. I don't know what's going on with Jimmy Butler. Y'all pray for Jimmy Butler. Remember last year he had the fake dreads going back. Everybody like, boy, your hair ain't grow that damn quick. I don't know what Jimmy be thinking on media day, but it is hilarious. Let me tell you right now. Oh, I got my cousin on here, man. Hey, what's up, cuz? I appreciate you. I definitely agree about this. I will have to say no. I think Milwaukee is still the favorite to win. I just think Damian Lillard and Giannis, they are going to be too much for a lot of teams to handle. I still got my team winning it all. It's just something in my heart. I know it's far fetched. I don't think Golden State will be able. Not this present day Golden State will be able to contend with the Milwaukee Bucks. I just think it's Damian Lillard's time to shine. He's finally playing with another all-star caliber teammate and Giannis, and they're not even all-star. Giannis is a superstar. I mean, you can't build the wall anymore for Giannis. Now he's gonna spread the floor with shooters. You know, they still was able to keep Chris Middleton. They still got Bobby Portis. They still got Brook Lopez. They got Cole Beasley coming up. I mean, not Cole Beasley. What's his name? Malik Beasley coming off the bench. Now you add Damian Lillard to that. What wall are you building to stop Giannis? And if Damian Lillard and Giannis play the pick and roll, God have mercy on anybody who think they can stop that pick and roll. It's gonna be nasty. I'm telling you right now, man. Milwaukee gonna be tough. Hey, cuz I definitely agree. And me and you can talk offline. We got to get us some tickets. Go to Milwaukee. I want to see that in person. I ain't gonna lie to you. I want to see that in person. That's gonna be some beautiful basketball play, y'all. Hey, we gonna keep this thing right going, man. At the end of the day, I believe that it's all good for basketball. You know, these teams are getting themselves better. And you know, I'm all down for playoff basketball, man. You know what I'm saying? You say what Cuz say? Cuz say I'm with it. Yes, Lord. You know, I'm all down for good playoff basketball. I think the West is going to be building up as well. Anthony Davis get that big contract. You know, hopefully, you know, he says it all the time. He plans on playing 82 games this season. We'll see about that. We hope Zion is able to stay healthy, man. I'm excited about the NBA. I believe preseason starts next week sometime. So definitely, like I said, Rob Two Cents will be airing now on Thursdays as well once the NBA season has kicked off. So make sure y'all tune in if you want all the hottest sports, all the hottest basketball news. I'm telling you, I got y'all back. Let's get on to the next topic, baby. And we got to talk about the best team in the NFC and the AFC. Because as you guys know, in the game of professional football, things go week to week. Last week we were all saying Miami was the best team in the league. This week people are saying now Buffalo is the best team in the league. I've been one of those people advocating saying that the San Francisco 49ers are the best team in the league. But let's talk about it. Let's break down the NFC first. The three top teams in the NFC it speaks for itself. Two come out the NFC East, and that'll be the Cowboys and the Eagles. And then I also, as I mentioned before, I think the San Francisco 49ers are just tough. If we look at the schedule right now with San Fran, we got a battle coming up this Sunday between them and the Cowboys. And this is going to be a test for the Cowboys because a lot of people have been screaming how great this Cowboy defense is. I believe I heard OJ Simpson on It Is What It Is podcast with Cameron and May. Shout out to It Is What It Is. You know, at one point in time, he compared the Dallas defense to the 85 Bears. Now, we know that their defense took a hit, losing Trayvon Diggs, their cornerback, you know, their star-studded cornerback. And remember, he was lined up with the newly acquired Stephon Gilmore. I still think Dallas has enough with Michael Parsons and D. Law up there and on that front line. That Dallas defense is going to be tough to beat. And then we know about the Eagles. And the interesting thing about the Eagles to me is that they haven't really hit their stride as of yet. They're not playing Eagle football the way we know them to play Eagle football. I think their run game has been excellent, you know, with Stromile Smith and bringing him in. We really haven't seen Jalen Hurts really use his legs the way he did last year. He's been scoring rushing touchdowns, but it's really been goal line and right there at the opponent's end zone. And the funny thing with the Eagles is they haven't hit their stride, but they're winning games, and that's scary. Think about when a team clicks and starts to get it all together. You start to see Jalen Hurts slinging that thing out there, Pauls, you know, slinging that ball out there and hitting A.J. Brown and hitting my boy Dante Smith and hitting Godare and you know, hitting Stromile Smith running out there in the outs. I'm telling you, the Eagles right now, they might be one of the scariest teams just because they haven't hit their stride. But again, I mentioned about San Francisco. We know about Nick Bosa. We know about a big Fred Taylor and what them boys do. Them boys back there. I mean, I said Fred Taylor. I'm sorry about that. The Nick Bosa. We know what them boys get down to. And Brock Purdy is still undefeated. I don't know if you guys know that, but Brock Purdy, as a professional quarterback in the NFL, he is still undefeated. And the San Francisco 49ers got playmakers out the ass. You got Debo, you got Brandon Ayuk, and then, of course, you got C-Mac, who not only hit him with the hat trick, that's 3 touchdowns in a row, if you people don't know, then he also got a touchdown receiving. That man had 4 touchdowns last week. Christian McCaffrey is on another level, and I think that game threw him right in the MVP talk. I mean, it's hard to talk about MVP and not mention Christian McCaffrey. I just think that right now, the San Francisco 49ers, to me, have to be the scariest team in the NFC. And if we switch over to the AFC, you got to talk about the Dolphins, you got to talk about the Bills, and you got to talk about the defending champions and the Chiefs. Now, a lot of people might say they want to throw the Ravens in there, and I like the Ravens. You know, right now I believe they're 3-1 in the early part of the year, but we have yet to see Odell Beckham Jr. out there. I don't trust the receivers that Lamar Jackson has now, and I don't want to see him get into the habit of continuing to keep throwing it to Mark Andrews. You don't want to, overwork your tight end. I'm telling you right now. Hopefully, Odell Beckham Jr. can come back and give some added firepower to that Ravens offense. But right now, if we're talking about the top 3 teams in the AFC, you got to talk about the Dolphins. You got to talk with that high-powered, fast offense. As I mentioned, they own the 6th highest speeds for ball carriers in the league right now, with Tyreek Hill at 22.5 miles per hour at the top of that list. With him and Jalen Waddle and those 2 running backs they got, I'm telling you, Miami might be tough. The only thing I question about them is their defense, as we see Buffalo was able to tear that defense apart and really put a hurting on them boys. And I think Buffalo right now is starting to hit their stride. We don't know when Von Miller is going to return for that defense. That's only going to make that defense better. And Stephon Diggs just had a day. He also had a hat trick, getting 3 touchdowns just everywhere, just complete monster. And when Josh Allen gets into a groove, the Buffalo Bills are a hard team to beat. I just don't trust them when the lights are the brightest. We've seen them get to the AFC Championship game or get to the semi divisional games and then lose. And the Chiefs seem to have their number. You got to talk about the Chiefs. They're the defending champions. As long as you have Patrick Mahomes, you're gonna be A-OK. But they are another team. I don't trust their receivers. Tyreek Hill ain't there no more. And to me, this year Kelsey looks good, but he's not the same Travis Kelsey as he's used to be. And I wonder if the Chiefs can survive, becoming a scheme team, making their receivers run these routes as opposed to just receivers that can just flat out beat you like Tyreek Hill used to do. So right now, as of today, I have the Buffalo Bills as the best team in the AFC, followed by the Dolphins, and then followed by the Chiefs. But as I mentioned earlier before the segment, man, there's always an ever changing opinion in football, because every week a new team can step up and be the best team in the league. What's happening, Glenn? What's going on, brother? I appreciate you for tuning in, y'all. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in, man. We're gonna keep this thing going because we saw some great college football this week. Hey, you know what? I wanted to be the first one to not mention Taylor Swift. I've been seeing Taylor Swift, being broadcasted over all the media. Hey, but I'm gonna keep it nice because if y'all know about Beyonce and how the Beehive get down, let me tell you something. Them Swifties ain't no joke. They'll mess somebody up over some Taylor Swift. You better watch how you talk about it. But let's keep this thing going, man. We got to talk about the great college football game we saw, as we saw Colorado go against the USC Trojans, and they showed some fight. That wasn't the case the entire game. USC came out strong. Caleb Williams, Heisman Trophy, former Heisman Trophy winner, and one of the top leading candidates to win it again this year, had a day. The man threw for 6 touchdowns. I mean, it don't get no better than that. Caleb Williams was 30 of 40, 403 yards, 6 touchdowns, only 1 interception. Not to be outdone, though, Shedeur Sanders came in 30 of 45 for 371 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown, and 1 interception at the end of the day. Let's keep in mind, That offensive line and defensive line for the Colorado Buffs is not good. They're small and they can't do anything. The defensive line can't get any penetration or any pressure on the opposing quarterbacks, and the offensive line, they're something like the Chicago Bears. Like I said, they couldn't throw a block out there if their name was Star 67. I mean, it's just bad. Luckily, their running game was able to go off a little bit with Colorado, and they started to make a dramatic comeback. I mean, at one point, I think it was like 28-7 or 20. And next thing you know, we look up, Shador get the, he's rushing the ball. He's doing everything in his power to make sure that Colorado doesn't lose that game. And Shador has been sacked 25 times this season. That's the most times a quarterback has been sacked in the Power Five colleges. It's bad. His offensive line is giving them no protection. And Shador is still producing. I mean, if we look over the year, he's thrown 15 total touchdowns with only 2 interceptions, and passing yards is 1,781. He's still doing that in spite of his offensive line. Remember, he didn't have Travis Hunter. He's still out with the lacerated liver. His brother didn't play on the defensive side, so USC was just able to score points at will, as I mentioned, 48-41. And let's talk about what was interesting at the end, because I kind of questioned the coaching staff of the Colorado Buffs, because they are running the ball. It's like 6 minutes left or 4 minutes left on the clock. They're running the ball and you have no timeouts. Your running game is not good running up the gut. I'm going to tell you guys something now, okay? I played a little football in my life. If your offensive line is not blocking, running call or calling calls where you're running the ball up the gut, which is up the middle, is not a good play to call. Because if you can't get any protection, how you expect to run up the gut? You're going to get swallowed up every time. And they were playing right into USC's hand. Now, they did eventually score, bringing the score to 48-41. And they had to believe they only had like a minute and 30 seconds left on the clock. And they try to go for an onside kick and they don't get it. But you don't have any timeout. So all USC had to simply do at the end of the game was just kneel. It was questionable play calling by the coaching staff. To me, it felt like they were shaving points. I hate to call people out like that, but I'm just saying it felt like you were shaving points, man. I feel like the Colorado, had they had a little bit more time, they probably would have picked up the upset against USC. Unfortunately, bad clock management at the end of the game, man. I'm telling you, man, coaches, you need to try to keep your timeouts to the best of your ability. And also, you need to practice on your 2-minute drills, because that was a horrible 2-minute drill. I mean, you're running the ball and you have no timeouts. What are you thinking, Colorado? But I did like what Coach Prime said at the end of the game. He gave shout outs. I believe one of the rookies, Omarion was his name, had an exceptional day. A standout day. That's one of those games that make you a star, and I liked how he talked to his team and loved the fact that they showed some fight, showed some dog, didn't just lay down. They really could have quit at the beginning of the game. I mean, it was getting out of hand rather quickly, so I wanted to give shout outs to Coach Prime and what he's been doing. And like Coach Prime said,
one thing that I could say honestly and candidly, you better get me right now. This is the worst we're going to be. You better get me right now.
And I agree with him. As we know, Coach Prime is a motivator. He's a God-fearing man. And I'm talking, he gives speeches sometimes. He makes me feel like I can run through a brick wall for him. He's gonna get these players to want to come play for him. Remember, Travis Kelce was being recruited by Georgia. He was able to get Travis Hunter from a Power 5 school like Georgia, who's a defending champion, national champion, and bring him to an HBCU over there in Jackson State, all the way in Mississippi. And then, of course, he brings his luggage with him to Colorado. I'm telling you guys right now, Deion Sanders, I'm sorry about that, Coach. Coach Deion Sanders is going to be sitting in there on the couch with your mama, drinking some lemonade. She going to tell you, I want you to go play with Colorado. I want you to go play for Coach Prime. And we see how the celebrities and everybody in the Black community is just gravitating around Coach Prime. We're going to have his back. And you want to be a part of that magic, man. So I'm telling you guys right now, watch out for Coach Prime next year, because Colorado is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Over the weekend, we saw some great boxing. Scratch that. I apologize. I don't want to lie to you. We saw great boxing from one boxer, and then we saw another boxer trying to survive. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the fight happened between Canelo and Charlo for the undisputed title at 160 pounds. And let me 168 pounds. I don't want to cut Canelo short. And let me tell you guys something. This was a one-sided fight. Canelo went in that ring and dominated as I knew he would. Jermell Charlo moving up. Remember, he was the undisputed champion at 154. Now, I'm gonna let you guys know, for my guys that's not boxing fans, they stripped Jermell Charlo of his title, of his WBO title. He hadn't defended it since March of since 2022. And Jermell Charlo, they gave it to Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu was the interim champion after he defeated Tony Harrison back in March, and he became the interim champion. You know, Charlo was dealing with a hand injury at that time. I believe he had 2 fractures in his hand, so he hadn't defended his championship since May of 2022. Last person he fought was Brian Castano. Remember, this was a sequel to that fight where he won by TKO in the 10th round with a devastating knockout. I wish I had that knockout for you guys, man. It was a devastating knockout against Castano. And don't get me wrong, Charlo was a monster at the 154-pound division, and that's why he was the champion. But he lost badly to Canelo. I believe after the first round, he started to feel Canelo's power, and in his mind, it went from fight or flight. He started fleeing because he ain't want no smoke with Canelo. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you can look at his face. When he felt that shot and he saw he threw a power shot at Canelo and Canelo walked into it and walked him down, I said, oh my God, it's going to be a long night for Charlo. He was even knocked down in the 7th round, man. Y'all take a look at that.
Answer power shots as Jermell back and lands a big right hand on Jermell, and he has to go to a knee. Jermell took a right.
Did you see that overhand right? I mean, and the bad part is he didn't even knock him down. Charlo felt that power had to take a knee, he had to regroup. He said, "Oh Lord Jesus, that shit hurt. That man is real. I don't want to get hit like that no more." And Charlo did everything he could to survive that fight. Now I'm proud of him. He didn't get knocked out. I got to give it to Charlo. I thought Charlo was gonna go down, but he used that ring to every part of that ring. He moved around. He tried to stay out the ropes. He tried to avoid the corner. He was holding Canelo when he had to. I could see all on Charlo's face. His mind was on, Lord, please let me survive this round, and don't let that man hit me like that again. Now, it's funny that I say that because after the fight, we hear Charlo call out Terrence Crawford. And let's listen to this.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I know he's somewhere around this joint. He's over here. Yeah. I'll fight Terrence Crawford. Yeah. Let him fight Earl Spence or whatever they got going on. Get that out the way. I'm waiting. I'm about to get back right in training.
Now, I hope y'all see he calling out Terrence Crawford. This is Terrence Crawford response to him. Terrence goes on Twitter, now known as X, and he say, "Okay, y'all, I'm over Twin Charlo. He's no longer on my hit list. He went out there and laid down and let Canelo spank him like he was his daddy with no type of resistance." He then followed up this post with, "Congratulations, Canelo. You made the so-called lion look like a baby cub." I said, oh, words, shots fired from Bud Crawford, man. Hey, you know what? I would love to see that fight. Now, we know that Errol Spence has a rematch against Bud Crawford. You know, I don't know, for the undisputed title. And after that fight, I really don't want Errol Spence to fight Bud because I'm a fan of Errol Spence, and unless he found some secret sauce, he went to Michael Jordan and they took a trip to Looney Tune Land and they went back in Space Jam and he took Michael Jordan's secret stuff. I don't want him fighting Terrence Crawford anymore. You know, I think Errol needs to heal and fully heal before he gets back in the ring, especially the way his eyes looked after that fight. I mean, he beat his face up. But I would love to see Terrence Crawford versus Charlo. Jamal Charlo supposed to be making a return. I think Jermell Charlo needs to fight Tim Tszyu to once again become unified champion at the 154-pound, and then look out to call out Terrence Crawford. We also have another super fight that's been announced as the heavyweight title will now be unified, as Tyson Fury will be going against Alexander Usyk to unify the heavyweight championship. And of course, you know that means to have the WBA, the WBC, the WBO, and the IBF championships, all 4 titles. There has never been an undisputed heavyweight champion in the 4-title era. The last undisputed heavyweight champion was Lennox Lewis, and that was before the Fort Bell era, when he was just WBO and WBC, WBO champion. So now we will finally get to see a unified heavyweight champion, and I'm excited for that fight because I like Tyson Fury. But let me tell you something. Alexander Usyk, he is not no pushover. It's not gonna be easy, and I'm telling you right now, that man gonna be coming out there to brawl. They saying that fight can take place either late December or early 2024. It really depends on. I think Tyson Fury has a fight coming up with Ngannou. I hope I'm saying his name right, from UFC. The one of them South them African boys over there. You know how they was dominating the MMA for a while. He's gonna try his thing now with the crossover going into the boxing ring. So I think they really want to make sure that Tyson Fury handles him with ease. In that way, they can begin preparations for this undisputed heavyweight title fight. But I'm here for it, man. And if you trying about unifying the titles, I'm here for it. I'll definitely check it out. Hopefully one day y'all watch a boy enough, I can get a little money in my pocket, and I'll be attending these fights, and I'll give you guys firsthand coverage of what's going on up there, man. But I appreciate y'all, man. That's my show, man. Before I go, I want to give a shout out to the WNBA. We're going to have a great matchup in the WNBA finals that's going to be taking place. First game will be starting October, I believe. It's going to be between the Las Vegas Aces versus the New York Liberty, Breonna Stewart versus Aja Wilson, my girl, Lady Mamba, Sabrina Ionescu. Remember, I trademarked that name. That's my name. Nobody steal my name. Against Kelsey Plum. That's going to be a great matchup. Remember, during the regular season, the New York Liberty had the Las Vegas Aces number. So I'm interested to see this finals, man. WNBA, make sure y'all tune in. Make sure y'all support our women. They play damn great basketball, and I'm going to be tuning in for that. Remember, first game, 2 o'clock on ESPN, game 1, New York Liberty versus the Las Vegas Aces for the WNBA championship. And before I leave you guys, I'm going to start this new segment called Video of the Week, man. Good evening, man. I appreciate you for tuning in, baby. I appreciate you for tuning in. Hey, I want to start this new segment called Video of the Week. And I want to make this interactive, man. I appreciate you guys for commenting. Remember, man, if you want to see your comments pop up like this, all you got to do is comment on your boy page, man. I'm on YouTube. I got 2 Facebook pages, my personal Facebook page and Rob's 2 Facebook page. If you want your comments to pop up, man, and you want to ask any questions to your boy Rob and get my 2 cents on the situation in sports, holla at me, man. All you got to do is comment, and I'm here for you. But yeah, I'm going to start this new segment called Video of the Week. And I want you guys, you can send me videos if you think it has to be dealing with sports. I don't want to see nobody twerking on no car. I don't want to see nobody, falling off 900 crates. I don't want to see that. We're going to keep it strictly sports here. And we're going to call this the Video of the Week. So make sure you send it in. I'll be scoring, searching the web as well, making sure I get all the top footage. But I saw this one video in particular. I want to set the table for you. So in PFL, which is Professional Fighting League, which is another MMA brand, Cedric Doumbé defeated Jordan Zevo in 9 seconds at PFL Europe 3. He is from France. And let me tell you guys something. This was one of the most thrilling things I've ever seen. I really did feel chills. The man screamed, "Jordan," to the crowd. And they screamed, "You're going to die," in French. And I mean, it was spectacular. And it gives you chills. And then he proceeded to come out there and beat that man in 9 seconds. This was his debut. He wasn't in the PFL. He was supposed to be with UFC, get signed to UFC in 2022. He had a CAT scan, and they found out that he had some bleeding going on in his brain area. So I think UFC kind of pulled out of that deal. They eventually came back, didn't offer him as much money as PFL did. He finally made his debut. And let me tell you, what a debut it is. He's a former kickboxing champion, and I'm going to be keeping my eye on this guy, man. I want you guys to watch this because it was really thrilling.
Jordan!
unbelievable.
Is that low stance from Cedric? Oh!
Are you kidding me?
It's
Over!
What?
Knockout for Dubai!
I mean, did you hear the crowd? You're dead. And they went, oh my God. I felt like Black. Are you not entertained? Oh, if you guys ever watch Spartacus, my boy Crixus used to be Capua. Shall we begin? Oh, well, I felt that. And then to come out and actually back up your talk and knock the man out in 9 seconds. I was like, oh Lord Jesus. He just turned off his light. And that's my soul, ladies and gentlemen, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Make sure y'all catch me next week, Tuesdays. Remember, this show is always Tuesday, 7 p.m. I try to be on time, trying to get home from work and get last minute preparations done for the show. So I might be a little late, but I'm telling you, man, we making it happen, man. And then once again, once the NBA starts up, I will be then filming on Thursdays as well at 7 p.m. So make sure y'all tune in, man. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the love. Again, remember, if you want to see your comments pop up and make this an interactive show, I'm all for it, man. Just make sure all you got to do is like and comment, man. I got nothing but love for y'all, man. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I hope y'all have a great and productive week. Make sure you be safe. Make sure you be smart. Make sure you attack every day like it's your last and go after your goals, man. I'm chasing my dreams. Why not chase yours? Hey, ain't no harm in trying. The only harm is not doing anything at all. Let's get it, baby. As always, I love y'all. Y'all continue to be good. And you already know the slogan, baby. We gone. There's a bigger fight going on. There's a much bigger agenda than the streets. And I know sometimes it's hard to see that far in front of us. But we have to look past the illusions, look past the delusions of grandeur, and look at the bigger picture. We need to become better versions of ourselves each and every day. Fight for what you believe in. Because if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. We just getting started, baby. You guys know the slogan now. Hope you all have a great evening. And